Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Gaynor.
I'm Sophie.
As you can see, we are Aidan free today.
Yes, just the girls.
Yeah, he's not feeling very well, so we're going to do the top 20 greatest country songs of all time.
Yes, I think this will be a good one.
I do as well.
Yeah.
I love country music, and I know you do. There's a lot that are old and you've probably never heard of. But...
Might not have done, but I what was she called? The one we did, Stand By Your Man.
Tammy Wynette.
Yes, and then I actually found the record literally the next day in a charity shop, so I bought it.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, I'll listen to it at some point, and
No.
Yes,
I do love listening to country music, especially the lyrics. Sometimes it's it's a bit crazy that women were so downtrodden. And, stand by your man.
I know.
Like, okay.
But it's good because it's like a bit of history. It's like, obviously, it was like of that time as well, you
exactly.
know. So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, I love a bit of country music.
Yeah, so let's see what we've got here.
You ready?
Yep.
The Harper Valley PTA.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 country songs of all time.
He said, son, I've made a
I
life
love Kenny.
out of reading
Darren loves him,
people's
yeah.
faces.
For this list, we'll be ranking the creme de la creme of country music from all of the genre's rich history. Did we leave out your favorite? Let us know in the comments. Number 20, El Paso, Marty Robbins. This one's for the old schoolers.
Nighttime would find me
before
in
he was
Rose's
born.
cantina. Music would play.
Yeah, before I was going to say it's before your time, that.
Marty Robbins' Gunfighter Ballads and Trail Songs LP from 1959 is a classic from the country music genre, featuring an iconic cover shot that immediately jumps out from the racks of vinyl on a shelf. The Spanish guitar instantly puts you in a time and place. An Old West cantina south of the border where danger lurks around every corner. Bobby Sykes and Jim Glazer sing the song with amazing skill, harmonizing beautifully as they tell a tale of love, death, yearning, and loss.
Back in El Paso, my life would be worthless. Everything's gone in life, nothing is left.
The protagonist's story in El Paso predictably ends in tragedy. But let's be honest, would we really want it any other way?
Lena, goodbye.
Number 19, Goodbye Earl, The Chicks. Songwriting is a key component to a great country music song, with many compositions being performed by multiple singers, sometimes charting in completely different decades.
Wanda looked all around this town and all she found was Earl.
The Chicks didn't write Goodbye Earl, but their version from 1999 was released a number of years after its original songwriter, Dennis Lind, had...
Is that the same as the Dixie Chicks?
I was just about to say, I feel like they change the name to just the Chicks, but
yeah.
I'm positive that's the Dixie Chicks.
And when I looked at the picture of them, then I thought, I'm sure that's one of the Dixie Chicks.
Yeah.
And the girl that was the bride then. Did you ever watch Melrose Place?
No.
It was it was like a follow-on from. It was similar to like Beverly Hills 90210.
Oh yeah, I do like that.
It was based in an apartment block, and she was one of the characters in there. When I seen her, I thought, I've not seen her for ages.
No way.
Yeah.
I'll have to give it a watch
Oh,
sometime.
it's brilliant. You'd love it.
had his version recorded by a different band. Goodbye Earl deals with the controversial subject of domestic violence, both
definitely a
lyrically
Dixie chick in
and
the
with its
middle.
accompanying music video.
But Earl walked right through that restraining order and put her in intensive care.
Despite this, the song was a hit for the Chicks, with a lot of money and attention raised to benefit battered women's shelters in the wake of its success. Number 18, Hello Darlin', Conway Twitty. Some songs are just born for the live arena. In this case, Conway Twitty's Hello Darlin' was one of the legend's go-to openers, a bittersweet ballad full of the sort of love and loss so often found in some of the best country songs.
What's that, darling? How am I doing?
Twitty's voice almost sounds at the point of breaking when he sings the line, "Gotta go now." And it's this believability that lends Hello Darlin' such an emotional resonance.
Goodbye, darling. Gotta go now.
There's a pathos to Twitty's performance that lifts the song's arrangements from good to great, all the while making Hello Darlin' one of country music's most recognizable standards.
I'm back, darling.
Number 17, Take Me Home, Country Roads, John Denver. There's a certain wistfulness and innocence to John Denver's smash hit, Take Me Home, Country Roads.
Almost heaven, West Virginia.
The song's melodic nature is evocative, painting a picture of long drives or perhaps hitchhiking, 1970s style, and thoughtful contemplation. Denver's vocals are clear as a crystal stream, untouched by grit, yet possessing a likability that's uniquely John and John's alone.
All my memories gather round her.
The backing vocals accompany Denver beautifully, while acoustic and steel guitar interplay make Country Roads a song we can spin over and over again, with no worries whatsoever.
Take me home, that country roads.
Number 16. It wasn't God who made Honky Tonk Angels. Kitty Wells.
Random
The
name.
term
Great
standard
name.
comes up again and again within country music. Those songs that make up the great book of...
Can I just say as well, I love her outfit.
Yeah,
Love.
I do as well. I love all those like high necks and
Yeah,
long
do you know what? You're
dresses.
kind of wearing something very
Yeah.
similar today. No, it's very classy. I love it.
music covered again and again by different artists.
As I sit here tonight, the jukebox playing.
It Wasn't God Who Made Honky Tonk Angels is one of those standards, a tune that lives forever, thanks to the magic present within its construction and the performances of those who try their musical hand. Kitty Wells first made the song popular back in 1952, with words and music composed by J.D. Miller.
It's a shame that all the blame is on us women.
Wells was the first female solo artist to hit the Billboard Country.
I wonder how old she is because
Yeah.
she looks about 65.
Yes,
but
she
she's
does.
probably about 30. I don't know where it was in those days. The women look so much older than they do now.
Yeah. Well, I've seen. Do you know what? Even like I think it said 1952, but to me that looks a bit more.
I was going to say
70s.
that song might have been 1952, but
Yeah.
I'm sure it was black and white in 52. So
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so she maybe made it popular when she was younger, and she's singing it now.
a bit later on. But that's the thing. Even like, for example, like the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I've never seen it, but I really need to watch it because I know I'll love it.
Yeah.
But they said I think they were all like in the
50s.
and I was like, no way. They look like they're in. No offense, they look like they're in their 80s.
Yeah.
But it was the fashion.
Yeah, I
and
know.
the hair and the
Yeah.
glasses. I was like, no.
When I look back at my wedding album, my mum was the same age as I am now on my
Yeah.
wedding day, and she looks
Yeah.
about 70.
Yeah,
she
it's
looks
just the
younger now.
style. Yeah. But then I think though, like in 50 years time, are people going to think the same? But like, oh, we look, like our fashion is like, well, it's so
Yeah, well, I think what it is
old.
as well is like obviously people have Botox and fillers now, which make them look younger.
Yes,
Whereas back
yeah.
then you didn't.
No.
And people look after the skin now as well. They have
They do.
facials and.
Because my mum said she in the 70s, obviously she was like a teenager then, but she used to use everyone used to use pear soap on the face, like use it for your body, but used it for your face. And I was like, what, just soap? She was like, yeah. I was like, that is probably one of the worst things they say you can do.
Yeah,
you
put
need
soap on your face. Yeah, I
just
know.
strips it of
I
everything,
know.
all the goodness.
Yeah, makes it dry.
Yeah.
Number 1 with her version, an ode to cheating men and the dance hall girls who, to paraphrase Hank Williams, live on the wild side of life.
That has caused many a good girl to go wrong.
Number 15, Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys, Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson. Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys was a mild hit for songwriter Ed Bruce when he included it on his 1976 solo album, but most country fans are probably more familiar with the more famous cover version from 1978.
Cowboys ain't easy to love and they're harder to hold.
Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson gave the tune an up-tempo spit shine with airtight musical backing on their studio rendition.
Cowboys like smoky old pool rooms and clear mountain mornings.
The pair also dropped plenty of their own classic charisma onto the track, giving Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys a fresh lease on life for some new fans.
They'll never stay home and they're always alone, even with someone they love.
Number 14, Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning? Alan Jackson. The world of country music, perhaps more than any other genre, delved deep into emotional catharsis and reflection after the events of September 11th, 2001.
Where were you when the world stopped turning on that September day?
This owes largely to its uniquely American origins, as well as the patriotism that usually comes part and parcel with country music as a whole. Still, Where Were You When the World Stopped Turnin' is particularly poignant by anyone's standard, thanks to Alan Jackson's legitimately focused delivery.
Did you notice the sunset the first time in ages to speak to some stranger on the street?
There isn't a lot of rah-rah jingoism or revenge speak here, but rather a moment of connection with all of those who felt something on that day. There's a sense of shared loss and reverence for the dead, and a memory that many of us will never forget.
Faith, hope, and love are some good things he gave us, and the greatest is love.
Number 13. The Devil Went Down to Georgia, the Charlie Daniels Band.
Love this.
The Devil Went Down to Georgia is something of an outlier on this list, in that it absolutely rocks.
The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind because he was way behind and he was willing to make a deal.
Country music has always shined with its contemplative nature, but who said there was anything wrong with letting loose once in a while? Charlie Daniels' musical knowledge is set on full display with The Devil Went Down to Georgia, taking his experience as a sideman and songwriter by utilizing both hard rock and soul to tell his tale.
The boy said, my name's Johnny and it might be a sin, but I'll take your bet you're going to regret because I'm the best as ever been.
The fiddle between Old Scratch and Johnny tosses bluegrass, rock, and even some funk into the mix, with the end result being one of the most gleeful and fun country hits to ever cross over into mainstream radio.
Oh, yeah, no, I
Number
have heard
12,
it. Yeah, I have heard it.
Coal Miner's Daughter, Loretta Lynn. It's difficult hedging out just one track from Loretta Lynn's storied career in country music. The Pill was a controversial anthem of female empowerment, while One's on the Way humorously took a mirror image look into the life of a harried mother. Coal Miner's Daughter might be among the most personal and well-known songs from Lynn, and with good reason, because it's an all-time classic.
Well, I was born to coal miner's daughter.
The song is an autobiographical tale of Loretta's childhood and upbringing, and boasts amazingly rich production by the engineering legend Owen Bradley.
In the summertime, we didn't have shoes to wear.
Meanwhile, Lynn's vocals are full of charisma and mesmerizing depth, capturing our imagination every time we hear them, right to the present day.
Not much left but the floor. Nothing lives here anymore, except the memories of coal miner's daughter.
Number 11, Friends in Low Places, Garth Brooks.
Your favourite.
Garth Brooks is unquestionably one of the most well-known and
Would you say he's like your all-time favourite?
It is my all-time favourite. I think I've got about probably 8 of his CDs.
Have you?
Yeah, I've got loads of them. I know every song he ever made and I absolutely loved it.
I need to listen to him a little bit more, to be fair.
The only problem now is all the music I listen to is on Spotify, and he doesn't allow any of his music to be on Spotify.
That might be why I've never... Because I have Spotify and stuff.
So the only time you'll hear him on Spotify is if it's a live concert.
Right.
But none of his CDs or none of his songs are on Spotify. He won't
You think they would be, because obviously that's where like most people use. Like,
I think what it was he felt that platforms like that was taken away from the artists, and why should they benefit type thing.
oh, I mean, I get it. It's a good, it's a good principle to have, isn't it? But,
Yeah.
and popular names of modern-day country music. And Friends in Low Places is perhaps a fan favorite of his enviable musical repertoire.
Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots, ruined your black tie affair.
The song had been written and performed by a couple of other artists prior to Brooks getting his mitts on it, but his version definitely seemed to resonate with an audience ready to hear Garth deliver the goods.
I'll just say goodnight and I'll show myself to the door.
The man's vocal is full of sass and attitude, while the arrangements swing low and slow like a good barbecue. It's a meat and potatoes tune that begs for fun, perhaps slightly inebriated sing-alongs, and good times. Number 10.
I'm just going to pause it and just say Kelly Clarkson as well. Incredible.
Yeah.
One of my favourite artists ever.
I think she was the first person I've seen to win. I think it was American Idol she won, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, it was.
I think that when American Idol, she was the very first person to win it.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, I don't remember
anyone
before.
No, because I remember it was probably like the year 2000-ish, like very early 2000s.
I'm sure that it was the very first one, because I remember it was her and a guy called Justin Guarini, something like that, that got to the final two.
Right.
And it's usually the second one that makes it more than the winner.
Did you say that though? Like the X Factor as well.
Yeah.
Most of the most popular people didn't actually win it.
Yeah. But no, she was very good.
Oh, she's amazing. Love her.
Always on my mind, Willie Nelson. There's just something magical about the DNA of a truly great song. Something that keeps bringing back, again and again, to singers that can work their own unique magic to the melody. Willie Nelson's On the Road Again is one.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
While Always on My Mind is another, having been recorded by legends such as Elvis Presley and Brenda Lee over the years. Nelson lent his own unique stamp to the song in 1982, a decade after it was originally composed by songwriters Wayne Carson, Mark James, and Johnny Christopher.
Tell me that your sweet love hasn't died.
Willie's version had crossover success outside of the country music world, while retaining its soft, balladeering structure. It's just a tender and melancholic song that tugs at the heartstrings every time.
You were always on my mind.
Number 9. Amarillo by Morning, George Strait. George Strait's version of Amarillo by Morning was a hit for the Texas-born singer a decade after the tune was originally co-written and recorded by Terry Stafford back in 1973.
Everything that I got is just what I've got on.
The processed 80s production style doesn't hurt Strait's version in the slightest, with the end result sounding somewhat similar to George's other big hit, All My Exes Live in Texas.
And Texas is a place I dearly love to.
Here, both songs come across as smooth, but never soulless, and Strait's soulful vocal carries both tunes to the places they need to go. Amarillo by Morning may be a hard luck song about a rodeo rider, but George Strait sells it in a way that brings us nothing but joy.
Amarillo is where I'll live.
Number 8. The Gambler, Kenny Rogers. Some country music songs just seem destined to cross over into the cultural zeitgeist. The Gambler is one of those tunes, a defining song for Kenny Rogers from a career that spanned many different kinds of music.
Met up with a gambler, we were both too tired to sleep.
The Gambler is a little ways away from Rogers' beginnings as a psychedelic rock pioneer with his old group, The First Edition, and was actually the fourth time the tune had been recorded since being written by Don Schlitz in 1976.
'Cause every hand's a winner, and every hand's a loser.
Rogers' version feels like pop country before pop country was a thing. Although this doesn't diminish the work Rogers and producer Larry Butler brought to making The Gambler their own. This song just seemed like it was waiting for Kenny to take hold and take control.
You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up.
Number 7. Stand By Your Man, Tammy Wynette. The world of country music has possessed so many defining and devastatingly talented female performers. Tammy Wynette, however, may be among the very best. The first lady of country music, if you will.
Sometimes it's hard to be a woman.
Her career saw plenty of hits, but there's one song that stands above it all, the iconic Stand By Your Man. Wynette's insanely powerful vocals sell this somewhat controversial song from first note to last, but particularly so during the finale, where she goes all out with her performance of its high notes.
Keep giving all the love you can.
The creative relationship between Wynette and producer Billy Sherrill perhaps never saw a more bountiful harvest than the glory that was Stand By Your Man. Number 6, Your Cheatin' Heart. Hank Williams with his Drifting Cowboys. Hank Williams is often considered, and rightfully so, to be a defining personality of country music. His songs served as bedrocks for the entire genre, inspiring generations of musicians that stretch all the way to the modern day. I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry is just one of Williams' classic killers.
I'm so lonesome I could cry.
While Your Cheatin' Heart may be among his best-known songs, it's a classic tale of heartbreak, a country standard highlighted by Williams' iconic delivery and influential songwriting skill.
Your cheating heart will make you weep.
It's an easy entry for fans new to classic country music, while also one of the best examples of the genre at its most pure and undiluted.
Your cheating heart will tell on you.
Number 5, Jolene,
Gotta be Jolene.
Dolly Parton.
Gotta be.
The words legend and talent get tossed around a lot, but they take on a whole new meaning when referencing the wonderful, inimitable Dolly Parton.
Jolene, 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 Jolene.
Want proof? How about the fact that the 9 to 5 singer told the Bobby Bones Show in 2018 that she apparently wrote not one, but 2 of country music's all-time classics on the same day?
Wow.
Yep, both
She's
I Will
amazing.
Always Love You and our next pick, Jolene, were apparently composed by Dolly within a 24-hour period. And we're just flabbergasted at the genius of it all.
And I can easily understand how you could easily take my man, but you don't know what he means to me, Jolene.
Chip Young's hooky guitar work is the glue that holds Jolene together, as Dolly sings her heart out about a woman she feels has designs on her man. It's a short and not...
I wish she's ruined herself. Have you noticed, like, all her nose? She had such a beautiful face, and now
Yeah.
she's obviously had her nose done. It's all pinched.
Yeah.
She's had some sort of a facelift. All her skin's pulled back. I'm like,
Yeah.
just aged naturally.
I
You were so
know,
stunning.
I know, she was absolutely, honestly, in terms of like style icons, like
Yeah.
she's up there as like one
Yeah.
of the top ones for me. Like I just
That's
think
what
she
I mean.
was beautiful.
I don't think there's one song
Yeah.
that she's sung that I don't love.
No, same.
She's just like the epitome of
know.
a female.
Yeah, and I just, yeah, like you say, I just wish, like you say, she'd aged a bit,
Yeah.
like a bit more,
I know.
you know, with her own face, because she's just
I
gorgeous.
guess that, you know, women are so critical of each other that they feel that they have to
Yeah,
do
like
that.
as a woman, I think you're under so much pressure as well
Yeah.
to stay youthful,
Yeah.
whereas, you know, mostly I feel like men are allowed to age to an extent.
Men seem to age a lot better than women, I think, because we're under so much pressure that we have to look perfect all the time.
And that's the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like she's obviously just had a lot of pressure, but
Yeah.
I do love her.
I know,
she's
I
got
do
such
as
like
well.
a good heart, and she
I
like,
know.
and she's so talented as well, like
is.
with her songwriting.
Yeah.
Not so sweet slice of crossover country perfection.
Jolene, Jolene, please don't take him just because you can.
Number 4, Mama Tried, Merle Haggard and the Strangers. The world of outlaw country has many classic heroes, including Waylon Jennings, David Allan Coe, and Johnny Paycheck. Merle Haggard also deserves mention in that distinguished company, thanks to his genre-defining work on songs like Okie from Muskogee, and our next entry, Mama Tried.
The first thing I remember knowing was a lonesome whistle blowing.
There's a sense of futility to the song of a life destined for danger, despite the best intentions of the narrator's parents. The evocative beauty of Mama Tried and its acoustic bass is undercut by the stabs of lead guitar of the Strangers' Roy Nichols.
Dear old daddy, rest his soul, left my mom a heavy load.
While the ride cymbal accompaniment of drummer Eddie Burris lends the chorus of Mama Tried a jauntiness that makes it all the more memorable.
That leaves only me to blame, 'cause mama tried.
Number 3, Crazy, Patsy Cline. In the world of country music, there's sadness, and then there's the near inescapable melancholy that is Crazy by Patsy Cline.
I'm crazy for feeling so lonely.
Patsy Cline takes the Willie Nelson pen tune and makes it irrevocably her own. And we challenge anyone to take a listen without feeling those teardrops fall. Patsy's voice is smoky, bluesy, and mournful, backed by a choral and piano accompaniment that makes Crazy the kind of song that works in many different settings.
I'm crazy for trying and crazy for crying.
It works in a dimly lit bar, perhaps while drowning one's sorrow or personal demons. But it also works perhaps as a coping mechanism for grief. Best listened to on headphones in the dark, allowing Cline to sing us the blues in her own inimitable fashion. Number 2, He Stopped Loving Her Today, George Jones. The role of producer Billy Sherrill cannot be overstated when it comes to how it helped make the careers of some incredibly talented people.
He said, I'll love you till I die.
George Jones was one of those people, a voice of his generation that helped lay the groundwork for all of country music. Throughout his work in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, it was Sherrill, however, that convinced Jones to take on I Stopped Loving Her Today in 1980. Just as the singer's career was in the midst of a slump.
You know, she came to see him one last time. Oh, and we all wondered if she would.
Jones's dead-eye performance and Sherrill's giant, cavernous production style helped the song shoot off like a rocket, becoming, in the minds of many, the best country song ever recorded.
He stopped loving her today.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, I Walk the Line, Johnny Cash. For many, the voice of Johnny Cash is the voice of country music, and it's difficult to challenge that argument. This becomes particularly true when listening to the man's classic discography, featuring such hits as Ring of Fire and our number 1 pick, I Walk the Line.
I keep a close watch on this heart of mine.
It took 3 tries for I Walk the Line to become Cash's first number 1 Billboard hit, but the end results display how much the song has entered the cultural zeitgeist when music fans tend to think of old school country music.
I keep you on my mind both day and night.
Maybe it's the Man in Black's deadpan delivery or those iconic lyrics, but I Walk the Line never fails to lift our spirits every time we hear it.
Because you're mine, I walk the line.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo.
No?
And then Kindle.
There's quite a few songs there that I didn't know.
No?
The older ones.
Yeah, I've never heard of even the second one there. I'd never heard of him.
Oh, you'd not?
No, was it George? What's it called? George? No, sorry.
Yeah, was it George?
It was Johnny Cash, but before the guy before that.
George Strait, was it?
What was he called? That guy. What's it called? George James. George Jones. Never heard of him.
I've heard that song, but I'm not familiar with him.
No.
I like the more modern country, like Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
Chris Stapleton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like a little bit of the old stuff, like obviously Dolly is just iconic.
Yeah.
I'd probably say I prefer more of like the older stuff, probably more of the women's, like what was she called? Tammy Wynette.
Loretta Lynn.
Yeah, like that. I prefer in terms like the older stuff. I'd probably say I prefer the women's music, but then like newer stuff, I do.
It's all the men. Yeah.
Yes, I do like.
I do like the like Shania Twain, the Dixie Chicks.
Yes, I love the Dixie Chicks.
Have you heard of Lady A? Lady Antebellum?
Oh my god, yes, I love Lady Antebellum. Yeah.
Is
it Need You Now?
Yeah.
It's like one of my favourite songs. Yes.
Yeah, so I like all that sort of music now.
Yeah, it's a bit more modern.
Yeah, the music that was, you know, my dog's gone down to the terrace and it's
Yeah.
a bit too much.
It's a bit almost like a bit too country, like a bit where it becomes a bit cheesy a little bit now maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do love it.
No, I do as
We'll
well.
have to do a bit more.
We will, yeah.
Please.
Aiden hates this type of music, so he'll be so pleased that he's not here. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.